Egypt's monuments were built on a scale meant to endure forever, but while the stones survived, the language used to commission them didn't. For 15 centuries, pharaohs were physically present, but historically silent. No one alive could read the hieroglyphs covering these walls. Scholars largely dismissed them as magical illustrations or mystical symbols, shorthand for the gods, rather than a structured human language. That changed in 1799. During a French military campaign through the Nile Delta, soldiers digging at a fort near the town of Rosetta uncovered a broken slab of black granodiorite. This is the Rosetta Stone. It's an official decree, but it's laid out like a linguistic map, with the same message carved into 3 distinct stacked layers. This physical arrangement turned an abstract mystery into a tangible engineering problem. If a researcher could master one layer, they could use it as a template to reverse engineer the others. The bottom layer was the obvious starting point. It was written in ancient Greek, a language that European scholars already understood. Once translated, the Greek text revealed the stone's purpose. It was a decree from 196 BC, detailing tax exemptions and religious honors for a 13-year-old king named Ptolemy V. But knowing the meaning of the Greek words didn't explain how the symbols at the top worked. It's one thing to know what a sentence says. It's another to know which bird or snake corresponds to which sound or idea. This attempt to project a known alphabet onto an unknown script triggered a decades-long international race to decode the remaining 2 layers. To move up the stone, researchers had to bridge the gap through the middle layer, Demotic. This was the cursive, day-to-day script used for the empire's administrative work. British polymath Thomas Young realized that Demotic wasn't a separate language. He saw it as a phonetic shorthand that shared a direct lineage with the formal hieroglyphs above it. Young focused his attention on the cartouches, the oval loops found in the top layer. He correctly guessed these rings were used specifically to isolate and protect the names of royalty. Comparing the Greek name Ptolemy to the cartouche, Young identified matches: a square stool for P, a half circle for T, and a lion for L. This proved hieroglyphs represented specific sounds, shattering the belief that every symbol was just a picture. While Young made the first breakthrough, it was the French linguist Jean-François Champollion who took on the damaged top layer to find the underlying grammar of the system. Champollion realized the language was a hybrid. A single phrase might use one symbol for its sound, another to represent a literal object, and a third silent classifier to tell you what category of word it was. To navigate this, Champollion relied on his mastery of Coptic. This was the linguistic descendant of ancient Egypt, still used by the Coptic Church and preserved in medieval manuscripts. These Coptic texts gave Champollion the actual spoken vocabulary of the pharaohs. Because the spoken language had survived, he could finally read the phonetic symbols on the stone out loud. On September 14, 1822, Champollion used this linguistic link to finish the decipherment. After centuries of silence, the internal logic of the Egyptian language had been reconstructed. This decipherment fundamentally changed the work of archaeologists. Symbols that had been treated as mysterious decorations were now being read as chronological, historical records. The translated texts corrected major historical errors. For example, they proved that the inner chambers of the pyramids weren't designed for secret rituals, but were specifically prepared as royal tombs for the afterlife. By reading the text alongside the art, historians discovered records of complex medical surgeries, social customs, and massive geopolitical conflicts involving the Hittites and other neighboring powers. The great irony of this discovery is that the mechanism used to resurrect the history of a lost civilization was originally just a mundane piece of tax paperwork. The Rosetta Stone serves as a reminder of how much of our history depends on the physical survival of information. Because one decree was carved into hard granodiorite, a millennium of silence was bridged, allowing a vanished world to tell its own story.